I wet enough for you. You gotta like the video now. Please subscribe. Look what I do for you. Good morning. I am at Pewits Nest this morning, just outside of Baraboo. So Baraboo is just around the corner over there, not far away. And I've been trying to get to this place for years. It's been shut down many times for different reasons. A couple years ago, it was shut down because there were too many Instagrammers coming out here and doing stupid things to get to likes in Pewits Nest. And last year, it was shut down for COVID because it is a very tight space. So this place, the parking area has been closed off the past couple of years. But it's finally open. We're going to go explore and see what we find back there. So I think one of the rules there that was being abused was people were climbing up on cliff faces and diving in. And they had quite a few rescues in here. It's not an easy place to do a rescue. So that's one of the reasons the place kept getting shut down. I even have a secondary sign over here. All climbing on rocks prohibited. Now I chose a day where it's in the 60s right now in July. So we hit a cold weekend here. I figured I'd give it a shot to come up here, hoping that it's not too crowded, because this place does get crowded as much as that parking area will allow. And I didn't want to waste my time driving up here if I knew I wouldn't be able to comfortably get in and out. So I figured on a cold morning I'd have a chance. There's now, I just heard another car come in, so at least 4 cars in the parking lot. And it's only 8 o'clock, I think. Left or right? Left or right? Let's go up first. Underwater. So I'm going to have to assume that, these fences look very new here. You can see running along the edge here. And you can see that there used to be a little trail over here, probably to a cliff edge, and maybe one of those spots that people used to jump off of into the river. And probably one of those spots where people were getting hurt and had to keep rescuing in here. So this is where we're at now, with restrictions. So hopefully, so we can enjoy it, they can keep it open and keep everybody safe. Now we're getting somewhere. I lied. I'm not getting anywhere. Path, can't get to anymore. So I'm going to respect that. I don't want to be a reason they close this place again. Although I already think I see some folks up there. I'm going to go down, see if there's a way up the canyon. See what this place is about. But before I go down, that is a big tree. Okay, here I am for scale. Back down the split. Let's try the lower path now. So, down here in the shade, you can see they are really trying to fence you to the water. But wore my sandals, so I figured I'm gonna have to wade in to see anything today. And yeah, this is the way in. Let's go see what we find over here. Well, looks like I'm gonna get wet to do anything here. Set my keys aside. This is getting deep fast. And like I said, I did not pick a warm day to do this. Let's see what I can do. Okay, before I completely freeze myself in there, by the way, like and subscribe. I'm going to go in there, but first I'm going to explore out here while I'm still warm enough to do it. I didn't bring a change of pants or other clothes. I did bring a towel, but it's only going to get me so far. So, like and subscribe, but I'm going to explore over here first, see what else I can get to before I dive in and see where I can get to in the cold, cold water. So before I go wandering into the depths of water, I'm really going to be swimming to do it. And I know plenty of people will be happy to come swimming here. Just know that there's all this area around here where you can just enjoy some shallows and gentle wading. You know. Oh, I got a fly fisherman out here ahead of me, so apparently there's fishing out here. Something. I'm gonna get wet now. Let's see what happens. Pockets are empty. below the water. So if you were one of the stupid people who were jumping from up there into what seemed like a nice deep bit of water, there's a lot of hidden dangers under here. And that's why they had to kind of lock this place down quite a bit. Alright, I'm doing this so you don't have to. I put my camera way up on the stick to get that last shot. So you can see where I am at. I'm standing on the wall down here. It's very narrow. Kind of doing a balancing act. But I am not going to climb that log up and in. Continue climbing. I think that's just not the smartest move for me and for most people. Balancing here. I'm going to retreat back and look around a little bit more before I go try to dry off. Okay, if you do want to challenge yourself or come out here on a nice warm day, hug this wall. You can kind of stand along the edge as you work your way back there. It's a little deeper over in the middle here. And you can kind of work your way to the log in the middle and sit on that to get to where I was. So that's Pewits Nest. I've seen some phenomenal pictures in the fall. I can't imagine being in there in the fall. You're going to get your chest waders on. You might get to there without some hypothermia kicking in. Gotta get my keys. Didn't want to get locked out of the car. There are times I bet on a nice warm day, probably over this weekend because I'm here on Friday. There's probably people coming out because it's a very short jaunt from Devil's Lake, and if people hear about it, they'll be like, oh, well, let's go check that out. And it's worth popping over, taking a look. It's a really neat little area. I mean, looking down through here, just seeing that little bit popping through, it's kind of neat. But it's not like a massive waterfall or anything like that. But there aren't a lot of waterfalls, surprisingly, in this area of Wisconsin. That's about as good as it gets. Okay, I'm back up at the top section. I'm gonna use my stick here and kind of put you over the edge, see what you've missed. But from what I can deduce is the little pool that I was sitting in with the log coming down and that little drop. There's another one almost identical to it just up from there with about probably a smaller drop. And then a long canyon going up. It's really kind of interesting because we do have this bizarre carved canyon running through what is basically just farmland out here. Now there is another little cascade down there. Nothing much. Nothing worth hurting yourself to get to. Just like the little one down here too. But you can see that at one time people used to crawl out there. They put a rope swing or something down there, and even some graffiti on the log, which is not exactly leave no trace. Down through there is where I waded in and played around in the water. So you can get down to that area and up to about there. I really do like this old tree here. This is kind of neat. So I don't mean to discourage you from coming here. This is really a nice little area. Just follow the rules. Come and enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is, not for what you can do to hurt yourself. But come on out, enjoy the water, enjoy the peacefulness of this. If the lot's full, move on to Natural Bridge or back to Devil's Lake. They're all in this area. But right now, I am still here. It's 9 o'clock now. I'm gonna go back down to the water because I walked into the woods a little bit now. I'm all itchy on my legs, so I'm gonna rinse off my legs again. But it's still fairly quiet here right now. I think the fisherman's still down the stream. Other than that, I haven't seen anybody else here in a while. So maybe it's not as crowded, or maybe people don't realize that it's been reopened. And I'm discovering some shifting light. Things have changed since I waded in like 15 minutes ago. Let's take a look. I wish I had a safe way to bring a really good camera in here right now. Because the log is lit up. Let's take another look. The log in the middle is lit up out there. Got the reflections up here. Yeah, you gotta spend some time here actually if you really wanna see the changing views of this spot. Pewits Nest. Wonderful little spot. I don't want to discourage you from coming out here. There are restrictions now. They want to keep people safe. They want to keep this open. That'd be great. It's a great place to come. Spend some time. You can't get to everything you used to, but you can still see some beautiful things. And if you take the time, watch the changing light in that little canyon. It's really kind of awesome. Enjoy the water. You can kind of swim in that little area there, cool off. If this video is useful, if you enjoyed, come along with me, like the video, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more things like this. I travel all over the state, and I'll probably reach outside the state a little bit at some point here again soon. Get on out there.